Alright guys, I'm not sure when you're seeing this, but this is in fact the Smackdown main event on WWE Friday Night Smackdown tonight for 3/9/2012, and I don't know what time you're seeing this. If you are seeing this before Smackdown, I do apologize if it is a spoiler. If you don't want to find out what happens tonight, please click off the video. I don't want to spoil anything. If you do want to stay tuned and you don't really care anyway because it is a tape show and you've probably already read the spoiler sheets, just stay tuned with me and let me talk about this. I'm on the way to a wedding, so I don't know what time this is getting published at. I haven't decided. But the one interesting thing is, I was a little surprised, to see this match. Because the Monday Night Raw that Teddy Long ran was pretty good, because Santina became champion and, SmackDown, they get another one. And it's almost wanting to take sides on who I think is, going to be a part of a match at WrestleMania between Teddy Long and, Team Laurinaitis. And you see these guys built up, but all of them have matches except for Miz and Randy Orton right now. I think it'll be Randy Orton versus Kane, but, that could still get turned into Team Laurinaitis versus Team, Kane, Long. And I keep saying that. I gotta say Team L and Team L. I guess they're both Team L's. Anyway, this is the main event, and I was a little disappointed to see it. I like to see, matches that are, 1-on-1, 2-on-2. The big 3-on-3 tag teams just kind of get annoying because, near the end of the match, you see what happens when one guy knocks off that guy from the apron, and the other guy's feud, and then, the end of the match is coming, versus a 1-on-1. It's kind of a surprise, but, SmackDown anyway doesn't really matter. And overall, I think that, all these competitors, it's kind of an interesting situation coming into this match. You got Big Show who's taking on Cody Rhodes. You got Sheamus who's taking on Daniel Bryan. And, can you really classify them as main events, though? Sheamus earned the right to be in the main event at WrestleMania because he won Royal Rumble. But yet that match is being overshadowed by CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, Undertaker versus Triple H, The Rock versus John Cena. So I feel bad for Sheamus because every year this happens where, the winner of the Royal Rumble, gets overshadowed. Last year, Edge versus Alberto Del Rio for the title was the very first match on the card, which I thought was a good match to have, don't get me wrong. It seems kind of ass backwards. And, this match, all these guys, have potential to be huge superstars in the WWE. And, Big Show already has been. Randy Orton has been a huge success on WWE programming. But all these guys are getting overshadowed by the main events, and it's kind of disappointing and it's kind of disheartening at the same time to see all these guys, have so much potential, especially guys like Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, where as much as I love Daniel Bryan, I don't know if he's going to be able to win at WrestleMania. I'm thinking, after all the build they put into Sheamus, they've got to give the title to Sheamus. Although I also thought the same thing with Alberto Del Rio, and they went and made Alberto Del Rio lose. I just don't want to see Daniel Bryan fall back into the mid-card. I think it would be a horrible situation, to have spent all that time to build him up and then just put him back in the mid-card. I don't want him to become another Jack Swagger. You look at Cody Rhodes. He's held the title for, 200 and some plus days, but he hasn't faced anybody. He hasn't made it worthwhile. Yeah, he's bringing back some prestige to the title. He faced Booker T, but other than that, he hasn't faced anybody. He faced Justin Gabriel, and that's about it. So you have these titles that aren't getting any use whatsoever in the WWE. So I'm a little disappointed that they went against for Big Show. There was talks of Big Show versus Shaq, and then that match got turned down. But to put Big Show versus Cody Rhodes, there's some intrigue going into it saying, Big Show's humiliated by Cody Rhodes. He should win the title. But it's like, wasn't Big Show in the championship picture title? Now he's fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. Do the WWE producers think anything about it? It's like, where does it go from there? Randy Orton had a feud with Cody Rhodes, a semi-mini one last year, but it was never actually for the title. You never actually saw the title go on the line. So, you know what? I'm wondering what's going to happen tonight. You're probably wondering, what is going to happen tonight, Tubby? Well, I believe Team Sheamus, Team Orton, and Team Big Show are going to pick up the victory tonight. That is just my prediction, and that could be from the spoiler sites. Team Bryan did get the win last time with Chris Jericho, because he did get the roll-up pin on him. Guys, my name is Tubby Moo. Hit that like button if you could. Follow me on Twitter, facebook.com/Tubby Moo, and twitter.com/Tubby Moo, guys. Hope you enjoy SmackDown tonight. It's going to be an all right show, guys. Peace!